Dahlia's beans. Dahlia loves collecting beans. She collects beans of all kinds. Green beans, red beans, black-eye beans, cocoa beans, coffee beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, and jelly beans. You name it, she has it. Dahlia keeps her beans in tiny bottles and places them on the floor in her room. She tiptoes all over the place and does not allow anyone to enter. At school, nobody knows about Dahlia's beans. She does not tell anyone about her collection because she is afraid they might laugh at her and refuse to let her join them at play. All the girls in her class collect stickers or paper dolls, and the boys collect stamps or model aeroplanes. Nobody collects beans for sure. At sharing sessions, Dahlia borrows her sister's sticker albums and shows them off to the girls, although she thinks they're absolutely boring. One day when Dahlia returned from school, she found her beans spilled all over the floor. "What's going on here?" she yelled. Her mother was folding clothes in the next room. "Oh, Mrs. Jin's children were here and they played with your beans." "Nobody is allowed to touch my beans again," Dahlia screamed at the top of her voice. She spent the next hour sulking and arranging her beans in the bottles again. That night, as Dahlia slept, something amazing happened. The beans started sprouting all over her room. They grew and grew and grew until they'd gone around the room 6 times. In the morning, Dahlia's mother came in to wake her up. Imagine her surprise when she saw the room completely covered with vines and plants. "Dahlia, what's happening here?" she asked between 2 cocoa trees. Dahlia opened her eyes and sat up. "Who brought me into this jungle?" she thought. Dahlia realized that she was still in her bed, and as she looked around, she saw her bottles lying empty on the floor. That was when she knew her beans had sprouted into plants in one night. The plants continued to grow and grow. Soon they had crawled out of the window. In the street outside, people stopped to stare at Dahlia's house. Dahlia escaped from her room before she became tangled up with the plants. Soon there were news reporters at the door. They had heard about the amazing event and wanted to meet the girl who owned the beans. Now all my friends will know my secret, Dahlia thought. The beans finally stopped growing on the 3rd day. Dahlia's father cut them down so that he could close the doors and windows. Much to her surprise, Dahlia became very popular in school. Her classmates thought her hobby was simply cool. Dahlia gave out her beans to them, because now she had so many of them, and they kept the beans in little bottles too. Suddenly, Dahlia was the coolest girl in school.